We can check out, or maybe article. Hell yeah. What are some of the benefits and drawbacks of using visual scripting tools like Unreal Blueprints? Okay, so for anyone that doesn't know, I'm kind of a blueprint only guy. I really try to I know this sounds bad, but I really wanted to specialize in blueprints because I don't know, I'm just not a fan of traditional programming. Like I could technically work in C++, but that's just okay, give me a second. I just have to tweet something. Yeah, just blueprints are just they're just better. Okay. But yeah, C++ have their place, but I don't know. Okay, visual scripting is a way of creating game logic and functionality without writing code using. Okay, this is just basic stuff. I think we get that. What is Unreal Blueprints? Do we need anything here? It's just introduction. I think we care. Okay, let's see. What are the benefits of using Unreal Engine Blueprints? Let's see. One of the main benefits of using Unreal Blueprints is that it is easy to learn and use, especially for beginners or non-programmers. I agree. I think it's pretty easy to get into it. It's kind of easy, but to actually be proficient with blueprints, I think it will take some time. It's not like linear progression where you're just gonna learn, I don't know, event tick, you're gonna learn to print stuff, you're gonna learn to create variables, and then you're like set, you can just create like good games. It's gonna be more like you're gonna learn all of this stuff, then you're gonna do a lot of bad stuff, inefficient stuff, it's gonna be laggy, it's not gonna be scalable, and then you're gonna actually learn, relearn how to create everything well. I think that's kind of the road. So you might spend like 10 hours and you might feel like, oh, you're like progressing with blueprints pretty fast, but then when you actually start like working on the project, you'll realize there is a lot of stuff to learn there. Okay, you don't need to know any syntax coding conventions. And okay, this is basically why I focus on blueprints. I hate syntax. I hate like technical issues. Oh yeah, you didn't put this colon in here. You did not. You call this technically wrong or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's I heard from people that it's maybe more that C++ is really hard. So if I was like using C++ as like my first or one of my only languages to learn, it's probably pretty hard. But yeah, I hate syntax, coding conventions, stuff like that. But yeah, and you can see the results of your logic immediately in the editor or the game. Also one big thing, I hate waiting for C++ for 10 seconds and then have to restart the whole engine and have to go in, then play just to see one small thing that I changed. You can also program and iterate quickly by changing the nodes and connections without compiling or restarting the game. Another benefit of using Unreal Blueprints is that it is compatible and flexible with Unreal Engine, and you can access most of the it's only compatible with Unreal Engine. I mean, it's their technology. And you can access most of the engine features and assets through visual scripting. You can also mix and match visual scripting and C++ code by calling functions from one another or by creating custom nodes with code. True. What are drawbacks of using Unreal Blueprints?
Hello.
Yo, what's up? Show Patrick. What are the drawbacks of using Unreal Blueprints? Okay, let's see. This is gonna be spicy. There are some drawbacks, but I think I think people sometimes go hard and shill for C++. I'm gonna be real. One of the drawbacks of using Unreal Blueprints is that it can become messy and complex, especially for large or advanced projects. It can be, but I think this is just code. Blueprint logic or code, I think this is, if you have like 20, 30, 50 classes, each class has like 10 functions and each function has like 3 local variables and 5 whatever, there's going to be a lot of complexity. I think this is for everything. But just like in code that you can kind of organize stuff, in blueprints you can do too. So depends how, if you create like one character class and then put everything there without any components, whatever, you are gonna be in a lot of trouble and you're gonna come to unworkable complexity pretty fast. Okay, especially for large or advanced projects. I think this is C++ and every other language and blueprints. You may end up with a lot of nodes and values that are hard to read, organize, debug, or reuse. Again, this is all for code. You have to optimize. Blueprints are not immune to this. You have to, yeah. There is a lot of organizational tools. You can use like macros. You can use like pure functions. You can do a lot of stuff where you can kind of make it more readable. You might also encounter performance issues, as visual scripting is generally slower than code, and you might have less control over memory management, optimization, and platform-specific features. Okay, this is, I think, one of the things. So we went through this, which I don't think is Blueprints only. This is like everything. You could like delete this, and it wouldn't matter for Blueprints. But okay, let's go. You might also encounter performance issues. Okay, performance issues, sure. But I think for most like basic stuff, like doing some, I don't know, branch stuff, setting some variables, whatever, doing some basic stuff, I think Blueprints are completely fine. The issue will mostly come with a bunch of casts, loops, bunch of things, ticks that are unnecessary. I don't know, using a lot of hard references, and then your memory is gonna be screwed where you load your character in an empty level and it's going to be like 10 gigabytes of memory loss because you just have everything loaded in the character or something, or in the game mode. So it's a lot of bad practices that can make this an issue. And there is some things, okay, so this is where C++ I think would shine in Unreal. There is some things that even with a lot of optimization, a lot of care, you still have the performance issue. This would be like you just have to loop through, I don't know, an array of 500 objects. Like this in Blueprints, you'll never gonna make this performant. I mean, if you do this like once every, I don't know, 2 minutes, even Blueprints can kind of handle it. But if you need to do like, for some reason, I don't know what reason this would be, but if you need to like loop through 500 things like 3 times a second, your game is gonna take a performance hit. It's gonna be rough. One thing that you could do is make the thread safe, and then you get a lot. I did a video about thread safe functions and pure functions, pure and non-pure functions that are thread safe, and making something thread safe gives you like 10x boost for loops and whatever. So that's a big thing that you can do in Blueprints, but yeah. There is some things for performance that you can just have to do in C++. But I think 95+% of things you can just do in Blueprints. Less control of memory management, for sure, yeah, C++ will give you way more control, but you have some general things like creating soft references, asset registry, stuff like that to kind of generally control stuff, but yeah, if you want even more control, C++. Optimization, you can do a lot of Blueprint optimization, I think. But yeah, platform specific features. Okay, this one is good because sometimes it happens to just, for some reason, devs did not expose something in Blueprints and they just don't have access to it. That can get a bit frustrating. So if you need some hyper specific feature, I think sometimes you just have to go to C++, or you have to find a plugin that exposes that thing, which is basically another way of going to C++, because that guy that created a plugin just went to C++, exposed some stuff, and gave it to you. But yeah, another drawback of using Unreal Blueprints is that it may limit your learning and career opportunities. Not sure about the learning. I think you can learn a lot of concepts because Blueprints are created on top of C++. So a lot of things like inheritance, interfaces, components, what we talked about, like thread safe, unsafe functions, pure, impure functions, variables, public, private, protected, whatever. Like a lot of those stuff, a lot of concepts you're gonna learn with Blueprints. So I'm not sure about limiting learning, but career opportunities, I can say that the industry is not there yet. I think almost everyone. Wait, what was I saying? Oh yeah, career opportunities. Yeah, I can attest that definitely the world is not there to accept that Blueprints. That yeah, I could technically like create not any game, but a lot of even complex games only using Blueprints. I can do a lot of stuff, and there is Like I could full-time just work in Blueprints and it would be a fine job and I would be contributing a lot and whatever. But I think companies still require C++. So if you are searching for a job as like an Unreal Engine Blueprint programmer, you probably... Let me actually Google. Let's see if that actually... Unreal Engine Blueprint programmer job. I know if this... I'm sure someone somewhere wrote this, but... Unreal Engine Developer Blueprint. Okay, let's see. Is this actually for Blueprints? Yo, I'm applying, bro. Wait, let me see. Do we have any C++ here? Proficiency in C++ is applied. Oh my god, there is actually. I never seen this actually. And usually it's something like this. Experience in C++, you can do Blueprints and C++. Okay, these guys. Real world one, let's see. These guys, okay? They know what's up. Okay. Jesus Christ. Yo, I'm actually applying. What the hell is this? But yeah, usually what you're gonna see is Blueprint plus C++, which is basically you're gonna be a C++ programmer and use Blueprints. But I think how strong Blueprints are right now in Unreal, yeah, studios should be focusing more on Blueprints. I did have like an interview recently where the guy literally asked me like what type of tests like would be good to give to someone like me, because I was like I said like I could technically do some like stuff in C++, but you know, I'm more like a blueprinting editor type of guy, you know, I'm like a generalist in Unreal, like whatever Unreal you need, like I think I could do it, but you know, C++, that's kind of rough. I could do some basic stuff, but yeah. And yeah, my general advice for people that are hiring, if they like want to get some good like Unreal generalist / blueprint developers, whatever, to kind of test them, I think what would be a good idea, and I might do this maybe even on stream, it would be fun, but to create like a simple project, maybe let's say, I'm just gonna throw something random out there, like you have a let's say a top-down game, you have maybe a few enemies, few levels, a character that can throw some fireballs, whatever, some basic generic game, but you throw in like 10, 15, 20 inefficiencies, like maybe you throw in like a cast on tick, maybe you throw in like few functions that could easily be just with one click created to be like thread safe, so they're kind of inefficient. Maybe you throw in like few unused variables in the data asset for like spells. You can kind of throw in like some inefficiencies, and then you give this project to people and tell them, could you just improve, optimize this project, do stuff like that. And then you can also do stuff like this is like something that I don't even know if I would catch if somebody gives me a project like this, but let's say you have navigation mesh for AI, and let's say you create it inefficient by changing some properties and making it generate like not the collision mesh, but navigation mesh is like too detailed for the levels that you have. Like levels are kind of blocky, wide, and you create like a really detailed navigation mesh that is way too detailed for the level, and then to optimize it, what someone would have to do is go into properties and actually edit those options. Something like you could add like beginner to advanced options that you would expect people generally to solve for or optimize. And I think if you give this, you can kind of analyze generally how people problem solve and what they solved. You let them kind of problem solve and optimize your game. I think something like that would be fun. So you can see how they were debugging the project, what they fixed, what they did not fix. If they fixed like 5 things, but I don't know, 5 of those things are really complicated, maybe they just focused on like the worst parts, and maybe that's okay. Or maybe they fixed like 7 things, but they were just like 7 really easy things out of let's say 15. You know, are they that good? Maybe not. Like they missed like a lot of, I don't know. You could do something like that, but yeah. Okay, where were we? Another drawback of using Unreal Blueprints is that it may limit your learning and career opportunities, as you may not develop the skills or knowledge of coding. Oh yeah, learning career. Okay, this was, yeah, I'm not sure about learning, but learning specifically C++, yeah, it's gonna limit because you're not learning C++, but career opportunities, yeah, for sure. I think right now, I think it's a little bit changing. We saw that, like, I didn't even know if one job opportunity just for blueprints would pop up, but it did, so yeah. As you might not develop the skills of coding, algorithm, data structures, design and essential. Ooh, this is some hard disagree. Coding, maybe not, like syntax for C++, nope. I don't know. Some like C++ conventions, whatever, nope, you're not gonna learn that. What you need to put like in a whatever header or in CPP file, like you're not gonna learn that, sure. But algorithms, you still have to sometimes use algorithms. Now algorithms are maybe more like harder because you usually have already exposed functions that are utilizing algorithms, so I'm not sure about that one. Maybe we can give some argument for this. Data structure, I think you can learn a bunch of data structures in blueprints. You have all of the things like integer, bool, strings, whatever. And design patterns, I think you will learn a decent amount, especially ones that are most important for game development. I think you're gonna learn them. I don't think this is... especially just as the essential ones, you're just gonna have to learn. You're gonna have to learn inheritance, you're gonna have to learn like interfaces, you're gonna have to learn like basic stuff. Like, yeah, singletons, like game mode, what is a game mode? Game instance, like you're just gonna have to learn those things, like yeah, there is just no way around it. Essential and some advanced, I think, but yeah. You may also have compatibility or support for other tools or platforms that are not based on Unreal Engine or Visual Scripting. Less compatibility, oh yeah, so yeah, like going from Unreal Blueprints to like Unity C#, it's probably easier if you know C++, yeah. That's true, that's kind of true. But we're never going back, okay? Unreal for life. Or until they screw something up and there is a way better engine out there, but right now they're farming, so we are doing good. Okay, how to decide if Unreal Blueprints is right for you? I might also disagree for a few things in here because I think I know what he's gonna say, but we'll see. There is no definitive answer to whether Unreal Blueprints is right for you or not, as it depends on your goals, preferences, and skills. Sure, this is just vague, it depends, but yeah. However, you can ask yourself some questions to help make the decision. For example, what kind of game do you want to make? I just realized if I'm listening to music and I want to use this clip later as a YouTube video, I'm gonna have background music. I'm sure there's an AI to remove that. Okay. For example, what kind of game do you want to make? If it's simple or casual game, or if you want to use Unreal Engine features and assets, the Unreal Blueprints may be suitable. I think even for advanced blueprints, even for most advanced, even if you are recreating a WoW in Unreal Blueprints, you could do probably like 80 to, let's say 80%. I think I could confidently say that if you are recreating World of Warcraft in Unreal, you could do 80% in blueprints right now. Because you could structure a lot of things that you could not do would be things specifically for some optimization for multiplayer. It's gonna be some hyper specific thing for some type of multiplayer transaction, marketplace, something like that. But for everything else, abilities, characters, I don't even know, inventory, all of the menus, levels, all of that, blueprints or in editor would be fine. The blueprints may be suitable if it's a complex or original game. What does this mean? Original game. Yeah, I think if you want to use other engines or tools, the content of different Visual Script tool might be necessary. Yeah, this sounds like I'm not sure if I want to say this, but this sounds like someone who like spent like an hour in blueprints or something. Sort of original game, like you could do very creative games just in blueprints. You could do crazy stuff. Like, I don't even, do I have it? Basically, yeah, on my channel I have a game where let me draw this. Instead of showing the game, I'm just gonna draw. What I have is like a character, and then I have a camera, and this is all in blueprints. I have a camera, this is gonna be camera. Okay. camera attached to his head, and then when you move the mouse, you're actually rotating his head and a little bit of the neck, so it kind of looks natural. And then based on where your mouse is on the camera, if it comes to the edges, the body will actually start to rotate, and the character is going to start to rotate and move his legs appropriately to kind of rotate around and stuff like that. And I made this character right now, I think can walk, run, and can turn around while he's standing, walking, or running. This is all 100% blueprints, and this is completely... I never seen this movement type in any game. So yeah, just original game. Like, this is like... I wouldn't understand if this was set for like Kismet. So Kismet was like before blueprints, a primitive version of like blueprints. That was for like Unreal Development Kit and I think Unreal 3 or something. And yeah, I guess I would agree for that, but blueprints right now are really good. I think people underestimate it a lot, but... or if you use other engines or tool, I mean, this is kind of no shit moment. Yeah, if you're using Unity, you're not gonna use blueprints because Unity doesn't have blueprints. I don't understand this one, but... yeah. Additionally, consider time and resources. If you have tight deadline or solo small team project, may be helpful. Your time and if you're also, yeah. So I would agree that for a solo project, probably it's gonna be something like this. For like a small indie project, you're gonna do probably like 90 to 95% blueprints. You're gonna maybe do 1 or 2 things. Maybe you need to expose something. Maybe you need some hyper specific things for, I don't know, your multiplayer thing, and there is no plugin for it. You might do something in C++. For bigger complex games, I can see something like this, between like 60 to 80% blueprints. You're still gonna do some stuff in C++, but you can just do a bunch of stuff in blueprints and it's gonna be the same. You're not gonna be losing like a bunch of performance. You're not gonna be doing some crazy stuff. So I think this is right now. I think maybe 5 to 7 years ago, this would be like 30% and this would be like 40%. But right now I think even for big projects you can do a bunch of stuff in blueprints. It's just easier, quicker, and there is a bunch of stuff unnecessary. I'll continue time and resources. If you have tights, okay. So I guess I partially agree, but I think he's gonna say for long that you should use like mostly C++, which I would agree. For longer and larger scale projects, more time and money in coding, optimizing, and testing may be needed. Wait, let me read this again. For longer term and larger scale projects, more time and money in coding, optimizing, and testing may be needed. I agree with this, with the thing I draw here. That's basically kind of what I'm saying. It's gonna be a little bit more, but I don't think it's gonna be like 80% C++, 20% blueprints. Finally, think about how much you want to learn and grow as game developer. Are you saying learning blueprints does not make you a better game developer? I can spin up a top-down shooter in about 2 hours and have AI, okay, 3 abilities, and I don't know, 2 levels that are all quick scans with hyper-realistic terrain, okay? So don't give me this bull crap. Finally, think about how much you want to learn and grow as a game developer. I think blueprints are right now fine. I feel like this... When was this written? If this was written like 2016, I would maybe understand. Can we see when it's written? Yeah, this sounds like something that I might have agreed a bit more if it was like 2016 or something. But right now, yeah, this does not apply. If I actually think it might make you a worse game developer if you spend 1 year in C++ only, and if you spend 1 year in blueprints only. I think you would be better developer if you spend it in blueprints, because in C++ you're gonna spend like first 4 months just learning C++, just to deal with it, just to create anything like a basic character that's walking and maybe has a gun and or whatever, some basic stuff. You're gonna have to follow like 20-hour course that's gonna take you like 60 to 80 hours to finish it, and same course in blueprints is like 4 to 5 hours maybe. So you're gonna spend a bunch of time, like let's say 4 months, just learning C++, And then when you start coding and working, it's going to be way slower than Blueprints, and then you're going to have a bunch of random bugs that you're going to have to fix that you won't have to deal in Blueprints. And also you're going to have to wait compile time every time you want to do something. And you're going to have more crashes, more stuff like related to like whatever live coding stuff where it sometimes doesn't work, it does work, stuff like that. So yeah, I would actually go the opposite. Maybe after you like spend few years in Blueprints, become really good in Unreal generally. That's kind of what I'm doing right now. I learned a lot in Unreal, more editor and Blueprints, and now I'm kind of trying to catch up a little bit more on C++ side, so I just have that little tool. I'm not trying to become like a expert in C++, but just to have a little tool set for that also. So if somebody asks, hey, we need this and this with C++, or you need to edit this code or something like that, I can just do something with that instead of going to ChatGPT. How do I open CPP files or something like, yeah. So yeah, I think this is the opposite actually. If you are looking to learn the basics of a game level and design, all aspects of game development such as art and sound, to learn the basics of game logic and design, or focus on yeah, I think Blueprints. I think you should start with Blueprints in Unreal. But if you want to learn programming fundamentals or advanced career as a game programmer, want to learn programming fundamentals, maybe like coding. If he said coding here, I think I would agree. Like, you do use a lot of programming things in Blueprints and you do learn a lot of stuff. But if he said coding fundamentals, so syntax, how to actually use C++, where a thing goes, stuff like that, I think, yeah, sure, C++, but he used programming here, so I'm gonna kinda disagree a little bit here. Or advance your career as a game programmer, if he's added here C++ game programmer, I would agree, but yeah, in general, actually, let me agree a bit more here. I think in general, if you want to get hireable real quick, C++ is gonna be easier for game development. I think with since I have some background in like freelancing, working with Unreal, a lot of things in Blueprint, I think I can, even if people are not expecting to be like Blueprint only or mostly in Blueprint programmer, I think I could get my foot in there. But I think for most people are just starting to learn and stuff like that, and you want to get as hireable as quick as possible, yeah, running C++ is probably gonna be the way right now, but maybe it changes in like a year or two. Especially because, yeah, people are accepting Blueprints more and more. Or at least supplementing visual scripting with code. Let's see, what are these comments? I never seen this. Unreal Blueprints is a very powerful tool to produce game logic visual, as with many visual content it comes with many of them. But it can be extended by writing Blueprints nodes in C++. Meant to be used by level editor visualizer. Okay, sure, it was never intended to be this, but he's talking. Okay, so right now, this sentence, like, I would love to see the age of this article, because this sentence tells me this is like 2016. Like, for 2016, I agree. Blueprints was just meant to kind of give, like, if you're like a level designer, you're placing assets, you might just want to do some quick thing in Blueprints. But right now, like, they can do way more. They could actually replace C++ for a bunch of stuff. Not for all, of course, because, yeah, this is still an abstraction, there is some limitations. But this reads to me like 2016-17 sentence. Like, and also one thing is, Unreal Blueprints probably was meant for this, but it became way more. So right now, yeah. Like, we could say, like, let's say C++ in 1970, whatever, whenever it was invented. We could say, like, it was meant for X and Y then, but now it's like way bigger. So when was C++ actually? Something is telling me it's like 1990s or something. 1983, okay. yeah, we could technically say, okay, it was actually meant for X and Y, but we're using it for Z and something. But yeah, blueprints got expanded a lot, so they're way more powerful. But yeah, let's see. The main benefit of Blueprint is allowing non-programmers to build behaviors without knowing C++. For instance, an animator can build complex animation by visually managing and blending animation. An editor can quickly create an interactive object. So an editor can quickly create an interactive object in a level without depending on the code, but okay, not sure. Okay, let's see if there is any comments or we are ending with this. Simple game, it cannot be used as a replacement for simple. Actually, for most things it can, especially single player. I think for single player games, you might be able to replace 90 to 100% of C++, just create it full in blueprints. For multiplayer games, with plugins probably, but without plugins, I don't think so. Let's slow down C++ and carry many mutation. Yep, kinda true. Yeah, there are some limitations, there are some functionalities, there is some inefficiencies. That's why we have to be careful, but part of your role is to create new blueprints, not to simply work for blueprints. You won't use blueprints to... Okay, I hate this. This is literally... I swear this article is 2016. I swear. This... You won't use blueprints to build game logic. You absolutely would. Like, it's like when I started, I have a friend that doesn't want to do much in editor. He mainly wants to work just in C++. And oh man, when we need to implement something, I could like do so much stuff without doing C++, and I just do it like 5 to 10x faster than him. I can just do it in like 2 minutes, but he would spend like 3 hours like implementing the same feature that I literally have in blueprints exposed, and it will never be needed to be in C++. But yeah, he just wants to do it, and then there's like a bunch of random stuff that you have to do. Like if you want to like dispatch an event, there might be like 3 places in like C++ where you have to put it like this thing needs to be in header, it needs to be called like this, it needs to be called in here, put it in here. In blueprints it's literally like I click a thing here, it tells me okay, you created an event dispatcher, I select if I need any variables, and I can just pull it up where to call it and then assign it where I need it. While in C++ you have to just run around in like 3 different files, do a bunch of stuff. Like yeah, like you absolutely could do this. Level design of visual artists, okay, and MS apparently user visual editors. Yep, in 2016. If you not find an easy way to do something, you have to ask how to make a new blueprint, not to make it. That's why blueprint exists. I think right now this is more like creating a... He's talking about blueprint like it's like an additional tool for efficiency, which kind of it is, but it's not like just like another tool like you would create. Like right now in Unreal, if I wanted to create like a tool to increase efficiency, I would create like a Python, like I don't know, Python script to like solve something. But blueprints are right now more used for like the actual visual scripting of game logic instead of like something to like speed up your game development with C++ or something like yeah. I don't even know how to explain this, but yeah. The bottom line is the blueprints are great too, but they are not a silver bullet to make developer out of a designer. Yeah. Okay, final thoughts on this article is welcome back to 2016. What the... Wait.